Hello, hi, and happy National Women's Day to you all. My name is Anika, and I'm your host today. Thank you so much for being here. This is Ruby Live, and we are doing a work with me today. So, if you're watching this live, you have access to sketches that are down in the description. So, scroll through if you're watching on YouTube or Behance and get hands on with the starter file. It is a set of sketches I've drawn for you all in Adobe Fresco, and you can use them in one of your favorite apps. If it's Adobe Fresco, if it's Adobe Express, if it's Illustrator, if it's any other app that you like to use. If you wanted to print it, you can color it in. But join me for this next one, or where we use Adobe Illustrator to vectorize the sketch, and then I'm gonna animate them as stickers for social media in Adobe Express. And if you're joining me live, say hi in the chat. I love our audience here and the community, so say hi in the chat. I have my eyes on you, so if you have any suggestions, I will be working with some type lockups as well. So let me know where you're tuning in from and how you're celebrating International Women's Day. Let me know. Let me say hi to everyone who's already joining us here. I love that Oliver, Lisa, Cody, Keys, Robert, Phil, and so many other friends are in chat. Thank you so much for joining me. If you caught me earlier this week, I was doing some International Women's Day theme streams for the APAC region, but we are here again today. I have this setup right here. This is you, chat. Hi. But this is the starter file that you scroll down to click on. And once you click on it, it's going to open up a place where you can actually download it from. So that's actually the sketches that I have put up. It is a PNG file, and I just wanted it to be inclusive because this year's theme is Inspire Inclusion, and I wanted to be inclusive to every single application. So I just provided a PNG file. I was like, hey, let me provide this so you can use your favorite app. It may not be Illustrator like it is for me. So if it's Fresco, go ahead and import this in Fresco and do it. And while we're at it, it says sketches by me. So that's my Instagram. If you've never been here before, hi, my name is Anika. I'm based out of Toronto, Canada, and I'm a small business owner. I'm a brand strategist and designer, and I also love making illustrations. So this is my Instagram. I post a lot of Adobe Express stuff as well, and a lot of Illustrator and my personal life sometimes as well. So if you're interested in any of that, go ahead and give me a follow. But this is chat, and this is I said that wrong. This is how we know we're live. This is how we know we're live. I was just reading Cody's chat in the chat. But this is Adobe Illustrator, and you can see my pointer here. Any of the keys that I press on the screen will be on the top right. So any shortcuts that I'm using today, this is gonna be just using pen tool and working with me. So while I'm doing this, I use the same kind of hand graphic because it is Inspire Inclusion. And of course, Apple coming through with the reactions, which I really love personally. But I'm going to be vectorizing these sketches, and I am using the pen tool here. I did make a color palette beforehand, and I'm not guilty about that, but we'll see if we want to use it. So let me show you what this is. So I have this as my colors that I did provide in the sketch. So I'm just gonna start with red and black here, and then we're gonna go ahead and do it. So I have the sketch on a different layer here, and I'm actually gonna bump up the opacity just so that I can bring the colors off in vector form here. So I'm gonna make a circle and press Command D multiple times to get all these colors here and then over here. All right, I'm looking at chat and seeing if there are any questions right now. Why do I feel like there's opacity on this? There's something wrong here. What's happening? There's some blend modes here. Oh, there we go. They were on multiply, but now they are on regular, normal blend mode. I'm gonna turn down the opacity of the sketches. You can do this multiple ways, honestly, with Illustrator. I love that you can double click on the layer and make that layer as a template, which allows you to dim your sketches to like a certain degree. You can make it like 30%, 50%. I'm gonna do the 30, and that just allows me to not mess with it because now it's logged, and that just helps me like look at my sketch easily while I'm doing it. So I'm just gonna like replicate that shape here and then bring that back in right over here. And then I'm gonna use the shape builder just over here to make this shape. Now this doesn't seem like it's really what we were trying to do, so I'm gonna select these vertices using the direct selection tool and bring it down just like so. And honestly, these three vertices don't really matter because the hands are gonna superimpose that as well. I love that everyone in chat is saying how they celebrated Women's Day up until now. But Keith says they celebrated by sending emoji flowers. I love that, including digital ones. I love it. They also don't die, so I love that concept of emojis and the digital age. Lisa says, I love this. And Llama Mama says, I'm celebrating Women's Day with M&M's, Dr. Pepper, and Adobe Live. I love to hear that. I love to hear it. Thank you for being here, everyone. All right. Without a breath, I'm just speaking in one breath. But we are making some hands. This sketch was actually inspired by my live stream earlier this week, which was like hands, because this year's theme was Inspire Inclusion, and that was denoted by the hearts. And I thought, what better way to like denote that with emoji hands? And so that's actually what inspired me, because on social media, you know how you always see the videos of like, how do you make heart millennial versus Gen Z edition? And I've seen one of those videos, and that's what was inspiring for the stream. So inspiration is everywhere, as they say. It's cliche, but I think it's so true sometimes for me. But I'm using the pen tool here. If you are more comfortable with the curvature tool, you can do that. But I think I have always used the pen tool, and I've used it for so long that I just always gravitate towards it. But that's my first hand. I think I'm gonna color it to a different color here, maybe like a blue, just to start with things. And then I can Command C, Command F it. Actually, you know what? Let me delete that. And I'm just gonna make these nails here, so I'm gonna turn down the opacity a little bit, just so that it's kind of like perfect. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And if you are working along with me, I would actually love to see what you do with these stickers. Make your own color palette, use color.adobe.com, or use like purples, because purple is the color of the season, and when is it ever not? Right? So if you're using some of these colors, make sure to tag me on social media. Make sure to tag Adobe Live on social media. We would actually love to see what you create. All right. I'm just putting some colors here. I think I'm going to use this color, but decrease the, as you can see, this is not in color gamut, but I'm going to decrease the saturation by a lot. And then I'm going to Command Exit, which is basically cutting these shapes out of here. And then I am going to increase the opacity back to 100, and I'm going to go into draw inside mode. And then I'm going to Command V it, which is just pasting it. And now I have these shapes inside the clipping mask, inside the shape. And I demonstrated this technique, and I love this. I love doing this just because it's easier for me to place these objects. And if you use the direct selection tool, you can actually move them inside the shape as you please. And I think that's pretty cool, because then you don't have to go ahead and like change your clipping mask over and over again, which I personally love. All right. And again, if you have any questions for me while we're doing this, let me know and we can come back to it. All right. I am gonna go inside here and try to like make the shape. Did I forget a nail? I did. Oh my god, I don't like this. I forgot a nail there. All right, let me go back. Let me go back and fix it. Try paste and back. Why? What do you mean? Let me know what do you mean by that, keys. Again, there are multiple ways to doing it. So whatever works for you. But this is just one of like 5 different ways of doing things in Illustrator. There's obviously what works best for your workflow. So if you are someone who's used to making clipping masks, I think this would make sense. All right, so we have this here, right over here. I think I'm gonna round this corner a little bit, like so. And I think I'm gonna do that to all of them. So I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we forgot one of the fingernails, because it kind of allows us to imperfect or perfect those imperfections. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. All right, we have this here, and I'm working fairly quickly here because we are gonna jump into Adobe Express to animate these. So I want to get with it and just really quickly do this. All right, I love this. Okay, and now I want to change the color of this too. So I'm gonna use my eyedropper here and change the color of this. Yes, that's a big yes from me. And I'm gonna change the color of this too. Katerina, hi, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing okay. All right, And I think this looks pretty neat. I will change these shapes a little bit here. And the way that I'm gonna do that is create a copy of this so I don't mess with existing shapes. So I'm gonna bring this on my second artboard here. Just for perfect clarity, I have 4 artboards here and I'm just gonna use this to iterate it just because I don't want to delete anything that I create just in case it was like, like I liked it. So I'm gonna actually make this in the back and then I'm gonna select one of these shapes. Use the shape builder. What is happening? Let's see. Oop, I see what's happening. It's because it's a complicated shape. It's fine. We're gonna leave that be for now. We're gonna mess with that in just a second. I am just gonna look at chat because I see that there are some friends trying to say something. Back to the current selection. Oh, yeah, for sure. I just wanted to paste it on top, not to the back of the current selection. That's why I did not actually do that. Let me go to my text here and see if everything's okay in the background. Looks like everything's good. All right, so I do want to make this shape here as well. So let me quickly do that here. Yeah, like I said, there are like multiple ways of achieving the same outcome in every single app, and that's why I actually love Illustrator because it's super easy to do that, and I think that's what makes it so special. All right, this is a complicated thing. When I first drew this hand, I kid you not, it looked like a foot. As we all know, it's hard to make hands. So, this is the best I could do, friends. And if you are making hands, make them your own, okay? Make them your own. All right, love it. Katerina, always in chat. I love it. For top, there is Command F. Yeah, I know. But I wanted to paste it within the clipping mask. And when you do Command F, it doesn't necessarily paste within it because you're in the draw inside mode. I would say definitely experiment with like all the Option and Command keys because that certainly change how your how everything works in Illustrator, especially when you have a tool selected. So I would definitely recommend going back and checking that one more time here. And I'm going to change this shape just a little bit. This is like a classic example of some things not working the way you thought they would. Like this shape, when I drew it, looked perfect, but now it doesn't seem as perfect. So I feel like I'm going to rotate it a little bit. Did I press a key or something? Why is it not showing up my rotate tool? I always think that it's like something that I did over here, but that's fine. Okay, and then I have this guy here. I think I'm going to bring that up a little bit bigger. Let's see. Hide bounding box. Oh, it is not off. I think it should be good. All right, awesome. And then I'm gonna make some shapes here as well. Gonna get some color in here, and maybe I wanna make some shadows too. So I can use the same draw inside, or you can actually use shape builder for that as well. So if I have this shape here, I maybe want to make a shadow of this shape on top, which is like the loudspeaker kind of thing. And I'm going to make like multiply. Now we will see how this works in Express, where I don't know how that will react to things, but we'll see. We'll see how the multiply mode will work. Oh, what happened? Oops, it's on a different segment there. Oh, that makes sense. It wasn't on the complete shape. So I'm going to bring it up here like so, and then I'm going to select all of this and then the shape builder and I'm minus the extra. So here we have the shadow, right? And then I'm going to bring that up on top, which is normal, and this guy is multiply. So that's like so behind it, and here we go. Voila. I think I really love that. That's a different way. Over here like so, and we have this like so. So there are multiple ways of doing it. You may not necessarily be able to use it with draw inside. It's sometimes finicky to select the shape after you use draw inside with like the direct selection tool. But if you do go inside, if you do end up using like one of the shape builder or unite tools, pathfinder I mean, you can actually easily do that. Let me actually delete this shape for now. And then I'm gonna make this shape too. Keeping track of time, we are 15 minutes in, so if you are joining us live, say hello. Again, this doesn't need to be really exact and how we work with things, but it's definitely your call and how you um I'm gonna zoom out here just to get this color. So just because the layer is on that, the sketch layer has like lower opacity, if you select eyedroppers and like choose that layer, it does decrease the opacity. It makes it seem like the object doesn't exist, but that is not the case. Awesome. Penny, hi, how are you? Good to see you here. I hope you're doing well. If you are just joining us, there are links in chat which you can actually use. Are they in chat? I'm not sure. Yes, they are in chat. Cody Bear did a great job of putting them in chat. So if you are just joining us, make sure to download the sketches, and that's how you can work with me today. I would love if you share any of the work that you've done with me on social media, and I would love to see. All right, I'm gonna make this as like lower opacity here too, and then I'm gonna bring this on top. So yeah, I think that's looking good. I think for now I'm gonna leave the hand and then move on to another one because I really personally love this one and I don't want to waste any time here. So I'm just gonna work on this guy. All right, thank you so much, Cody, for sharing that again. I do want to rotate this by like 90 degrees, and then I'm gonna use the direct selection. How are you celebrating Women's Day, Cody and Penny? Let me know. Get yourself some cake. I think cake is good. How is cake? Like, cake is always good, right? All right, and then I'm gonna use, okay, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to make like a shape here, but we're gonna do that over here, center it kind of like so, and then I'm gonna grab this color, and then I'm gonna make another thing on top. So use Command F, and then I'm gonna make like this red. So I'm gonna bring that out. Oops. Red here, and I think I also want to bring my color palette down here just because it's like so further away that I have to go ahead and select it. Is it logged? What's happening here? It might be logged. Yeah, it's on the sketch layer. That makes sense. All right, I'm gonna bring this here and then bring it to my working layer. All right, and then I think this looks good, but I also want to decrease it just a little bit. Cake is good no matter what day it is. That is so true. Eating Oreos, I'm actually jealous. Did you know Oreos were vegan? A lot of people who eat Oreos don't actually know that. That's a fun fact. I did not know it for the longest time. I actually don't like Oreos. Don't at me, but I'm just saying, friends. I don't like Oreos. How would they like? It's just like fascinating to me. Like, how is it vegan and how is it like? How are they making it? What's happening here, right? That's not what I wanted to do because I did not want to make it completely white. So here we have this, and then I do want to make this thing here, so I'm gonna move my eye out of here, and then I'm gonna make it like a telescope situation here, like so, and then change the color to black, and then I'm gonna add some of these ovals. 20 minutes in and we're done with 3 of these. I love that this is like warp speed for me today. So if you're working with me, let me know. All right, and then I want to rotate this again. Now again, this doesn't need to be exact just because it's gonna be so tiny for like Instagram or something that you may not even see. Like, the perfectionist in you may want to like perfect everything, but it's not really absolutely necessary for it to be perfect. Obviously you want it to be, but it's okay if it isn't. Like, give yourself a break sometimes, you know. I know you know. Okay, and then I think I want to bring this back here. Maybe I want to move this little telescope guy from like here to here. Yeah, and then now I'm gonna make these lips over here. So I have this, this, this. Awesome. Okay, awesome. I think they look good. Oreos with peanut butter are really good. Oh, wow. I have never heard that combination, Jack. What? Oreos with peanut butter? You know what? Now I secretly want to try it. Even though I don't like Oreos, even though I am not a fan, I would secretly want to try it just because you said that it's a good combination and I trust you. Jack over here is an amazing donut connoisseur, and she introduced me to like sour cream donuts, and I never knew that was a thing, and then I found out, and my mind has been blown ever since. And the Polish donuts as well. I'm actually like, I do a lot of dinner parties with my friends, so we're doing a dinner party soon, and it's like Polish theme night. So I'm excited for that. We're gonna have the Polish donuts. I don't know how to say them, so I'm not gonna butcher the name at all. At all. Okay, and then I think I'm gonna simplify this just a little bit. Yeah, I love that. So whenever a shape is like not so great, when you like make variations of it, I just like go ahead and simplify that shape, which actually really helps making that by not making like a manual process, which I think is super cool in Illustrator that you can do, and I always tend to do that. Now this is a red shape right now, but I'm gonna change the blend mode to multiply and then decrease the opacity a little bit. And now I can go ahead, select these two shapes, use the shape builder, and cut that shape out, which actually does really like decrease your time of making all of these shapes. And then you can go ahead and use your pen tool and direct selection tool to actually like change how these shapes are looking. All right, actually I'm going to delete this point here, so I'm going to use the pen tool. Where are you? This is such a tiny thing. Oh, I'm not able to select that. That's fine. That's fine. Don't dwell on the details. Have to remind yourself that every time. Every time. Should it be here or here? Oh, this looks cool. Oreos. You've never had sour cream donuts, but they sound like something you want. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. Oreo thins with chocolate filling. I love that we're just talking about Oreos in chat now. That is awesome. Okay, now we are at 222. I think I'm going to start with some type lockups so we can dive into Adobe Express. So I'm going to bring these here, and I am going to use these two fonts. I think I'm going to just stick with Ono Casual Variable font, which is an Ono Typecode font. This is an Adobe font. The name's right here if you want to take a screenshot. And this is BD Supper. This is also an Adobe font. And I love how they pair well together because both of them have a lot of personality. And I think with inspiring inclusion, this is what I want to say that, oh, you can actually inspire inclusion with this. So let me just say inspire, and then inclusion, like all, like I think with this the messaging is all fonts are good. All fonts are good. There's a use case for everything, right? Okay, I'm just making a type lockup for this little guy here, which I think I want to change slightly. And it's like super simple. We're just like keeping it, oh no, messed it up. We're keeping it super simple with like all of these lockups here. Why is this outlined suddenly? Did I outline that? No. What happened there? That's interesting. That is so fascinating to me. But we're just gonna use the font because we know what it was. So I'm glad that I looked at it before it got surprisingly outlined for no reason. That was that was fun. All right, inspire inclusion here. Food chat always takes over. Want this as stickers? Are there tutorials for Illustrator? Yeah, we have creative challenges for Illustrator and pro tips. Jack and Chad and I have done a lot of pro tips as well as other creators that you regularly see over here on the Adobe Live YouTube channel or on Behance. There are a lot of Illustrator tutorials. And Lisa, to answer your question, you can actually use this and make your own stickers. I provided a sketch in the stream description that you can actually use. So I think you should do that and then tag me. I would actually love to see your color palette too, because I feel like it's always so fun to see how other like creators or designers use the same assets to like make something that's completely different. I always would love to see that. Okay, I'm gonna grab this white kind of tone here. Obviously you can't see it right now, but I do want to superimpose that with like the blue, like on the blue. So I think that's what we're doing here. And then I'm going to bring this on top. This certainly is on a different layer. Yeah, it's on the assets layer. And bring it to working layer, and this is on top. Make it smaller. Make it here, fit in this thing. Actually, since you say that, I don't actually think this blue, I think it should be a little bit darker. First of all, bring it to the color gamut, and then, ooh, I love that. Okay, let's use this blue. And then bring it to this guy, bring it to this guy, bring it to this guy, bring it to this guy. I think that certainly works so much better in terms of contrast. And since I am speaking of contrast, I do want to show this to you all. I don't know if you know about proof setups in Adobe Illustrator. You can go to View, click on Proof Setup. This is where you can check for color blindness tests. Now, this is not all of them, but there are some accessibility tools built into Adobe Illustrator where you can actually check color blindness checks for protanoia type. And this was due to Renopia. But if you do go to Adobe Color, which is color.adobe.com, I'm going to bring it up here to show you how you can actually check contrast and color, which I think is super important in any kind of design. The details of the points may not be important, but I definitely think color accessibility is important. So here is it, color.adobe.com. You can go to accessibility tools, and there are two tools here, the contrast checker or the color blindness safe. This is where you can actually input your colors. So if you click on this little preference panel or the settings panel, you can go ahead and change the hex code and input your own. And if you scroll down, it'll give you deuteranopia, protanopia, and tritanopia. This will show you your colors and if they are colorblind safe, and you can check. And like, this is an easy to use tool that is web based, and I think you should use it to your advantage. But that said, let's hop back into it. And if you have any other questions about like that, let me know. But these are the colors we're using. I love that. Alejandro, hi, you're back. Love to see you. Let's see. Love it. Okay. So now that we have this here, I think I want to change the rotation of this a little bit. Press R on your thing. And then I also want to say Women's History Month somewhere. So I'm going to bring this up on my working layer here. And then maybe I want to say Inspire Inclusion on this one too. So I'm actually going to say Inspire. And this is Ono Casual Variable Font. And I love variable font. Now that I think of it, I do know that Adobe Express Web does not actually support variable fonts as of today, March 8th, 2024. But I do think that I can convert it to outlines, and maybe then I'll use it. We'll see, chat. It's chaos. It's chaos. It's always chaos. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, don't at me. I'm just working here. All right, and I just work here. Okay, and then I wanna do like a different lockup here which says 0308 because it's 8th of March. And then I'm gonna align this. Also, this has rotation on it, so I'm gonna make that 0. Does this have rotation on it too? No, it does not. Okay, I actually wanna superimpose it here just because it's not legible. So I'm gonna say that here, and then bring that on top here. Bring this on top here. Okay, awesome. You love Adobe Color. What are some ways that you use Adobe Color, Alejandro? I would actually love to know. All right, this is here, and then I'm gonna center it to the ski object which I just made, and then change the color to red. I think that adds some zing to it. And I'm actually gonna group this. And now that I have it here, I think I wanna outline it too. So I'm gonna create outlines here, group it, and then I wanna center everything. Actually, you know what? I think I want to change the leading on this. I think it's fine. Should be fine. Yeah, I think this is fine. And then I'm gonna center line it to this as well. And there we go. We have a lockup here. I think this looks good. I want to outline these text as well, just because when I bring it to Adobe Express, I don't want it to really mess anything up. So that's that. We have everything outlined. So that's cool. This is the shape. And I think now we're good to go to like bring some animation to it. We are at the 30-minute mark. And if we do have some time left over, we can always come back and make one more. So let's actually jump into Adobe Express. I don't have it open over here, but let's create a new project, shall we, chat? I don't know if you've ever used Adobe Express. The mobile beta just launched yesterday. might have to go to my video just to log in. The mobile beta just launched yesterday, and I think it's super cool what you can do on the go with the video features. But it's available for Android, ready to download. For iOS, you have to get on the waitlist. So make sure to download the Adobe Express mobile beta. It's out for public and I love to see it. But let's hop back into our workflow here. I am going to create a new project because I'm going to make it for Instagram. So I think I'm going to make like Instagram story size and then we can resize it. So this can be stickers, but this can also be animated MP4s that you can export out to share as a reel. So there are multiple ways that you can bring your Illustrator file or assets in. The first is using Creative Cloud libraries that I actually demonstrated earlier this week. So if you go back on the Adobe Live channel and see Vector Animation by me, Anika, you will be able to see the Creative Cloud library workflow. But today we're actually going to use copy paste. And it's surprising to me how many people don't know this, but you can actually copy paste assets directly into Adobe Express. And here we go. We already have our hand here, which I think is super cool. It's like so fast and the workflow just like blows my mind every single time because it's like so fast to do all of this and so easy, which is such a game changer. All right. And these grid lines are also like so useful because they tell you that, oh, you're now in the center and you are now aligned, which I personally love. All right. And you are seeing that I am pasting these as individual elements just because it's easier for me to do that, and pasting them in the back. And then I'm going to bring this on top, which is over here. So let me do that here as well. And I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you guys can see, making sure. Oh, wow. That was bad. All of these were actually, let me scale these up really big so that when we bring it into Express, the quality is not compromised. I think it might just be taking some time to load, but we'll bring everything back in. So yeah, there we go. That works. I think just because it's at a smaller size that happened, but we're here now. We're doing it. We're doing all the things. And we have our last element here. All right, awesome. I love that Robert in chat just shared like a Polish donut recipe, which I really love, but I won't be able to make it. I have like a Polish bakery nearby, so I think I'm just gonna go there. that's easy, right? That's how you do. That's how you do. Okay, let me make these smaller, and then I'm gonna make this smaller as well to fit into this space here. I do want to scale this up. Actually send this back behind the hands and bring it up here like so. And I'm going to use the align tools to actually make sure they're middle and not center. That's not what I want. Distribute horizontal. Yeah, and now they're all like equidistant from each other, which I really love because this is awesome. Okay, now this is our first design. Before we like actually jump on to the next one, I actually want to create a new page within Adobe Express. So let me click on view all pages and click on this plus button. What this will do is create a new page of the same size. You can click on the plus button and have this here, but what if I want to resize it? You can do it quickly with this, and this can be like an Instagram square post. So it doesn't have to be a reel. It can still be a post and like someone wishing you happy International Women's Day. I'm actually going to do that after the stream. So let me actually make like a type lockup here really quickly, which I forgot to do. So let me do that. Inclusion. I just want to say inclusion for women here. So I'm going to write that, and then maybe I want to use like a different color here, and then maybe I'm gonna size it down, bring it to my layer on top, on the working layer. I got through iOS waitlist pretty quick. Nice to be able to see my web projects on mobile again. That is pretty cool. I did not know that the waitlist was going on quicker. Yeah, I think it might be like a sign up thing, like when you sign up and how long it takes for your application, but I'm glad to hear your application went by really quickly. Key says, I've not tried this, but shouldn't the web version work in browser and tablets? I think it is to do with responsiveness of websites. So I think the sizing may not be perfect, and that's why it's not working. But obviously, the team can tell you better. There is a Discord for Adobe Express that if you use Adobe Express on mobile, you can actually go and join the Discord. There's a link over there. Wow, just the typos. You can actually go ahead and join the Discord and ask the team there because there are channels for that. So make sure to do that. They obviously know better here and they can help you better with that. All right, I'm gonna make outlines for this as well. You know what? Actually, let me see if this pastes in Adobe Express as is if I don't create outlines. I just want to see if the variable fonts are working now. As far as I remember, they were not working, but we will see. I got messed up so bad. So bad. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's under control. Everything's fine. Yep. And then I'm going to paste it here. That's the eye. And then I'm going to paste this shape here. Which it did not paste this guy here. So I'm going to bring that up and scale it. Like so. Making sure everything's fine. We have this here. Got it. And then let's see. Ooh, it did paste it. That is cool. The last time I tried it, it did not actually paste it. So I love to see that the team is like really getting feedback and like really taking it seriously. I love to see that feedback is actually being considered. So I love it. Okay, so I'm going to scale this down just a little bit because I'm going to fit it into this size. I do want to put it on the top left and then I'm going to bring it in. I think this would be better on a landscape kind of thing. So just for now, we're going to use like YouTube thumbnail situation because I'm going to animate it. And then once it's animated, I can bring it back to whatever sizing I have. Just because I want it to be accessible for people watching, I'm just doing it on this size. And with like Adobe Express, it's easy to resize after you've animated as well. So you can actually, since the mobile beta and we were talking about it earlier, you can actually open this up in your mobile too, just to see, or mobile device, just to see how it looks on your screen, on your phone. So that's pretty cool. I'm actually going to do that after and share a video or something for that. All right, so this is like the second one. This is the first one. I know we created one more, so why don't we see where that is? Let's see. It's the Inspire Inclusion one. Oh, what's happening? Here. Okay. We can do that. All right, let's animate these two for the sake of time. We have these elements. This is going to be very beginner friendly. So I'm going to go through some options here. We have these hands on all these layers. You can actually see these layers. This is a layer panel opener on the top right. You can see all these layers that I brought in as assets from Adobe Illustrator. These are all vectors. And if you scroll through on this panel here, it says image. This is like a copy pasted version. That's why it says image. And then I have these three options of in, looping, and out. I think I want to do like an in animation with fade. And I'm just going to experiment with that and see how this looks. And as soon as I clicked on fade, the timeline appears here at the bottom, which looks pretty cool. I can see the layer timing here as well. And you can change how big or small you can see the timeline. Like you can zoom into the timeline. Once I zoom out, the timing over here at the bottom left remains the same, but you can make changes more clearly. If you ever work with timelines in Rush, Premiere Pro, After Effects, you see that this is how it works. But if not, it's like a smaller version of it. Love it. Llama Mama says, was there a previous version of Express? Adobe Express is working on my iPhone. Dumb question. No, it's not a dumb question at all. That was the previous version of Adobe Express and it is still active, but there is a public beta to test out the new version of Adobe Express, which I'm using right now at new.express.adobe.com. I don't know if we have a link, Cody, but if we do, could you please share that with the chat? I don't have it right now, but you can sign up for the beta to actually get access, and then you can like access these same features within the app as well, which is cool. I love to see it. And then maybe we can add another. What should we? Oh, maybe because you use drop. But then we'd have to increase the duration for it to drop after it arrives. Yeah, this looks cool. Okay, now I'm gonna run through. I really like seeing how it looks every single time. So I'm gonna do that here. Okay, and then we can use like some of the other effects on animation. So for in animation, maybe we can do like pop. We're doing pop. We're gonna change the personality of it though. I feel like soft would be good. No. Loud? No way. Soft it is. I'm gonna decrease the intensity here though. So maybe make it like. Thank you, Jack. Thank you for the link. I love that. Thank you for sharing. We have 10 here and I love that. I am gonna change the animation to something else here. Maybe like a fade. Yeah. So I think I would say the one thing is like limit how the number of animations you're using and change the timing of it. Just the basic principles of animation. Use like not too many because then it can be jarring for the viewers to watch. And when you're using and adding animation, make sure the timing of it is slightly different because if you animate everything at the same time, it doesn't really seem moving. It's all relative, right? I do not like the drop in here because you kind of can see it dropping from here. And I can really change the opacity of like that because I can't keyframe it in here. So I think I want to use something else. I think I want to change this. I can go to drop in. And oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Here we have. I'm gonna go and remove all animation from this. And then I'm gonna add a different animation. Maybe I'll use fade for this as well. We'll see. Let's go back. Animation. In. Nope. Nope. Maybe I can do grow actually. And then change the duration of it. Smooth. No, actually make it quicker. I don't like it. I don't know which one to pick here. Maybe bungee will work. I really love that. Okay, let me zoom out here and see how this looks. A click when fingers touch. Ooh, that's a cool idea. I think this is like slightly delayed here, so let me change the timing of that just a little bit, and then you're gonna play it again. Oh, that's too quick. That's too quick. What? That's too quick. That's not working at all. I think I'm just gonna do a fade in here. Yeah, that actually works. Okay, let's see. I think I'm gonna increase the duration of the fade in, and then we'll see. The perfectionist in me is telling me that these shapes are bothering me. I'm trying to look past it, but it's really not working. Okay. All right. I think I'm gonna stop with this now. But did you know that you could add animations on the group as well? So now that I've grouped this, I'm gonna play this again before I add animation to the group. But this group also has animation now, so I can make like a looping animation, which is like jitter. Maybe I can add jitter to it and decrease the intensity by a lot, just so it's like slightly moving. The intensity is 1 and the speed is like 30, so it's like slightly moving, like it's moving but not really. So it's a very subtle. And then I can do this to this group as well, which I really love because then that just means that there's like multiple like layers of animation, which I really love. Ooh, maybe we could make it wiggle. That's cool, right? That is actually so sick. I love it. Okay, let me show you how this looks. And obviously you can change the duration of this, make it smaller, make it bigger. I think I'm gonna keep it up to like 6 seconds here, and then I'm gonna hit play. That is pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. And now I can export this as an MP4. If you did have a Jiffy account, let me show you how to download this before we move on to the other one. We have about 10 more minutes in the stream, so if you have any questions about what we did, we're gonna come back to it. But this is the download and it says MP4. You can actually go ahead and download with original size, 4K or 720 pixels. I'm going to download this file here, and I'm going to open up a new Adobe Express to show you how I can download GIFs as well. Is it GIF or is it GIF? I don't know. How do you say it? Ashraful, hi. How are you? Nice to meet you here. Nice to see you here, not meet you. I already know you. But we have Adobe Express here. I am gonna go ahead and wait for this to complete downloading. Look at chat just in case I missed anything. It looks like we're good. So everything is all right. Okay, and then you have this as well. So I am really happy. I'm gonna submit that, and you can also leave feedback. So I'm glad that it popped up. But now that it did pop up, it's like right here, the untitled, right? And you can go ahead, click on the plus button and go to quick actions, and it says convert to GIF. And I can actually like drag this in here, which is my video file, and that's just gonna help me convert it to GIF. Like this is with a white background because I downloaded it like as an MP4, but you can actually download this even as like a PNG file with like stickers and stuff, and paste it as like copy pasting in your Instagram story, which is what I did for my story when I was posting about this. But you can like download it as a large high quality here. You can change the size of it as well, like a landscape. You can fill the screen with it, and you can change it to square, which obviously this shows black border around it because this has a white background that I did. But this is how you can download a GIF variation of it as well if you wanted to store it and like have less space as well. I see a question from Lisa here. Lisa says, is that for Reels on Insta? MP4 works up for Insta Reels? Yeah, MP4 is a video format that works for Instagram, for TikTok, anywhere that you want to share videos. MP4 will work there. All right, with about 10-ish minutes to go, or like less than 10, I think I'm going to animate this as well. And I'm taking suggestions from chat. So if you have any animations that I can add from it, like go through this on your end, let me know while I maybe bring this one in as well. So let me know if you have seen something that you would like me to add, and I will be happy to add that in here as well. I would love to do something like that. Meanwhile, I'm just going to copy these in here. Here we go. That's pretty sick. They're so small. They're so tiny. Oh, I always do this. I always use the Illustrator shortcuts in here. This is so pixelated here. Let me bring that up here. All right. I'm gonna bring this up here. And then I think I want to bring all of this together. So now it's super big. But we love that. We can size it down and it will not be pixelated at all. And then I'm going to bring this shape, which is right here. And bring these two together. Inspire inclusion. And then I'm going to bring these two together. And then I'm going to bring the last one. Yeah, that is right. Keys in the chat says Express can support most social formats. That is true. Adobe Express can support most, like if I go to resize right now, you will be able to see that you see the recommended sizes here, so you don't have to remember anything. And then there's social media sizes, Instagram, all different kinds of Instagram sizes, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. And then when it comes to exporting things, you can either select one page or all pages, and then you can see that you have options for multiple here, like PNG plus MP4. The reason for that is that some of them have timelines, some of them are just images, so it takes it into account what format there is on every page. And then you can also just use PNG, and it gives you a pop-up here that video animations won't be exported like that. And then you can also download PDF, which is best for documents as it says, or also a JPEG file if you wanted a smaller one. So multiple sizes resizing option, and also multiple download options. And there's also share button, which can help you publish it via the content scheduler, which is actually free to use. So you can share it to your social media directly, or you can share it in your storage, or you can schedule a post here with the content scheduler, or you can publish it as a remixable template. So all of this is built in, and you don't really need to do anything extra anywhere else, which I actually personally really love. I love that you brought this up, Keys. I appreciate you. All right, and I'm gonna bring this here, maybe like rotate it just a little bit. Okay. And then I'm gonna rotate this as well, just like so. Maybe make it slightly bigger. Yeah. And the one thing that I want to do actually, if you did want to export it as a reel, I can add a scene here, and this is where I can paste everything, so it can just be like one single thing. And let's actually animate this right over here. So I want to animate this really quickly, and then I can add transition into it. Nobody told me what transition they wanted me to use. Megan, hi, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us. We're just making some International Women's Day stickers. Happy International Women's Day to you. I am working in Adobe Illustrator, and then I worked in Adobe Express to animate all of this. And this is what we're working with right now. This is the next one. And I may be sharing this on my Instagram later so you can see all of this. But you have some sketches in the stream description that you can actually go ahead and download. So you can use your favorite apps to make it your own. Work with me. I think this is more like a productivity hour where you can do what your heart desires, work on passion projects, or work with me, which is the idea. But if you want to take these and go back home later, if you were at work right now, you can actually use this as weekend downtime time where you can also print the sketches, which I think is super cool. Right. I don't know if you can hear noises in the back, but I'm sorry if you can. All right. And then maybe want to do pop for this. I'm going to keep it as default just for now. And I'll group everything just because for the sake of time, we only have about 5 minutes. Drop. Yeah, I think I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to try to play it and see what happens. That was too fast. And then I'm going to add animation to all of it like we did like a group animation, which would be a jitter. Again, that's too much. Okay, let me decrease that. Yeah, I think I really love that. Okay, now that we have these two, I'm going to hit play and see how that looks. This is my first one that we created today. I love it. I think the timing is a little off, so I'm going to decrease that to like 3 seconds here. And it's super easy to do that here. And I'm going to decrease that just here as well, make it like almost the same. And then I'm going to hit play. Productivity power hour. We need to work in lurk stream. I don't know how that would work, but I think all the streams can be work in lurk stream, so we don't need anything extra for that. Okay, this is cool. This looks cool. I think this would be super cool with this one as well. So I'm gonna do something here. I'm just gonna add it to my scene here for like as a note for me later. But you see how it like resized for you? And I think you can actually like change the sizing and make it like pop up or something. I think that would be cool. But if you wanted to really make it a reel, there would be a need for a transition. And I'm gonna click the plus button here. You can either do add scene or add transition. I'm gonna end the stream by adding a transition where you see we can either, if you hover on the transition, you can see how it works. Whereas push and slide, I think I love push the most because the background's the same color. So it kind of like works really seamlessly. And then you can add the same one here as well. Add transition. You can click push. And here we go. All right, let's see how it looks. Okay, for a first pass chat, I think this looks pretty cool. Right? Right? I think this looks cool. This is cool. All right, I'm just going to do this for now. Just because it's like tiny. Let me actually group all this and then bring it on top. And make it slightly bigger. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this be here for now. But I'm gonna hit play again just to show you how all that worked. They have a transition, which is cool, and then we used all the animation features in Adobe Express. With that said, friends, thank you so much for tuning in here on Adobe Live on this Work With Me segment. There is more coming up with Jack Watson. Jack is working in 3D in Adobe Illustrator as well. So I'm really excited to tune in. There are some materials and some really cool starter files with their segment as well. So I'm excited. But we love this. We love you hanging out in chat. Love the community. Go back and watch all the replays on Adobe Live over the weekend if you missed anything. We had Adobe Express mobile beta launch yesterday. Some big things happening around here. Nothing major. But I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you missed anything and if you're watching the replay, you can change the Stream settings, if you think I'm going too fast, you can actually turn subtitles on. You can decrease the speed of the viewing of the viewer on YouTube. And you can also reach out to me on Instagram. Thank you so much for tuning in again. I will be back in a couple of weeks. So join Everybody Live then. And we're live every single day of the week. So come hang out on Adobe Live, be.net/Adobe Live. But until then, happy International Women's Day, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.